Good morning, everybody. Jilly Beans, thank you very much for that subscription with Prime. Appreciate that. Siphon some of those Bezos bucks to us.
Can I see what I look like?
I mean, kind of. Jen and Lisa, thank you very much for those gifted subs. Appreciate you guys very much.
That's as good as it's going to get today, friends.
Jesus Christ, Carla Marie. Almost pushed the whole table over.
Have you seen those videos where moms and their kids mess with dads, and they have, like, the mom asks the kid to do something, and the kid will be like, "No, mom, just shut up." And then it gets the dad's reaction. Those are my favorite,
That's
except
good.
that was my house, and it's Ashley all the time.
I would... Ashley would not have a head if that happened in my family's house.
One time, when she was a teenager, I was in college, I think. She said to my dad, "F you."
Yeah, you're out of the house at that point.
I've never, ever in my life said that to my parents, and somehow she
never.
survived. And all the time I'll bring it up. I'm like, "Do you remember when you said that?" Like, never would I have done that.
No, that's crazy talk.
So she's in for a treat because the universe pays you back.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to make sure Adriana's a terror.
Listen, one of the reasons I still don't have babies running around this world is because of the amount of times my mom said, "You're going to have a baby just like you. You're going to have a kid just like you." You think I want to bring that demon into this world?
That's what happened to Ashley. My mom used to say the same thing, and she did. Except Adriana's good. She's just...
For now. For now. What is Justin saying in here? Let's see.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And during the countdown, I don't know how we started talking about this. Carla Marie was talking about, it's a trend, right?
Yeah, I've seen the videos where moms and their kids will play a prank on the dad. And the prank is the mom asks the kid to do something, and the kid will be like, "Oh, just shut up, mom." And just because the kid would never normally do that.
Yeah.
And the dad's always like, "What?" And they go after and they're like, "It's a joke, it's a joke."
That video would have, if that was popular when we were kids.
Right. If we had
that
videos.
video would have me and my brothers being taken away from my parents. Just so everyone knows, that would have not ended well.
Because who would have beat you?
In the Habibi household. What?
Like if your mom was in on the joke, right?
Yeah.
And you said, "Shut up, mom."
My dad would have gone berserk so quickly. And you know when you see red, like you start like not hearing things going on around you. My dad, we could have been screaming, it's a joke," the whole time. It wouldn't have even, those words wouldn't even process in his brain. He would be so mad.
We should do it now and see what happens.
Oh my God. Now I think he would know, because now there's not a chance my brothers and I would say that as adults.
Yeah.
And let me be clear. There's not a chance we would have said that.
I'm trying to think
as kids.
I feel like that's such a weird... I don't know that I've ever said shut up to my mom, other than if I'm like, "Mom, shut up. You're being ridiculous right now." But I don't think that I've ever been like fighting with her or told her to shut up in that way.
No, never.
I mean, they've definitely gotten like a shut up from me, like a, "Oh my God."
I may have called my mom stupid in 6th grade, or said she was being stupid or something like that. And my brother Justin is in the chat here and said there was something.
Remember the one time Michael muttered under something?
So that was Michael's problem. Is Michael, if he was getting yelled at, that's my middle brother, would like mumble things, which got my parents more mad.
Yeah,
because
he'd be like, just say it then.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Or are you picking your nails? What's going on?"
Yeah, sorry, it was bothering me. We're good. Oh,
you were doing some real work over there.
But it was like a little hole in the middle. Oh,
okay,
driving me insane.
But I think, oh, man, I forgot what my brother Michael said. He didn't call my dad a jerk. He said something like, "You're acting like a jerk," or something like that. It was probably the worst day of Michael's life.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to call each other idiots. Hold on, wait. There was a message from Meg. I called my mom a bitch once as a teenager and got slapped across the face. I screamed child abuse. So I deserved it.
Yeah. I remember where if there were multiple times where either me or my brother Michael, I don't know if my brother Justin did this, but we would be like, we're calling whatever.
Yeah, okay, go.
Was it Dyfus?
Yeah,
was the
Dyfus.
And my mom would give us the phone.
Yeah.
And say, go, get out of here.
Ben said, I cursed once at my mom and she snatched the soul out of me and whooped me like no tomorrow. I barely curse around her even now.
Oh, yeah.
Cursing was fine. I remember we got to a point where like my parents were just like, just don't curse at school. We don't, and it was like controlled. Like we could be like, shit, that was first, bitch.
I still don't really curse in front of my parents.
I do. We do.
I get
my dad
freaked
will yell
out.
at us now. I'm like, you let us.
If I'm quoting someone, maybe at this point in my life as a full grown adult with a mustache, I'll say it. But I don't really curse in front of my parents at all.
Well, I probably curse in front of your parents, so.
Yeah.
Vicky said my brother said my mom was being a bitch under his breath once and didn't realize my dad was right there. It didn't end well for him.
He would be on your ass if that was the case.
I'm trying to think because we weren't like, I don't know. So much of my teen years are actually getting yelled at for having an attitude.
Yeah, it seems to me like you were lucky in that you were close in age to your sister. What, 2 years apart?
3.
3 years apart. And she seems like she was a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
So you get away with some things.
And
because she draws so much attention to her at that age.
And then she also got away with so much more because I was the older sibling paving the way of that generation. Like, she was getting to go out later. She was getting all of this. And I was just sitting here like, she's bad and she gets to do all the good stuff.
Yeah. Justin is saying in the chat that I never said how I responded to my brother Michael.
What did you do?
Mumbling at my mom. I don't really, I mean, maybe I beat him up on behalf of my mom. I don't remember. Because there were times, more so with Justin, actually. Yes, Carla Marie.
Jill just said, I give my husband the middle finger behind his back a few times a week. I love him to death, but sometimes it's necessary.
That's funny. Oh, I'm sure I did that. I'm sure when they turned their back, I may have given him the finger or something. Oh, apparently I punched my brother Michael in the face and then went upstairs knowing that I was also grounded at that point. Probably. There's a weird thing that happens when you're the older sibling, the oldest sibling. And you sometimes end up in this like weird big brother, but also disciplinarian role. Yes. It's like, especially with Justin. Justin and I are almost 8 years apart.
Crazy.
So there were times where when we were younger, like if I was 16 and Justin was 8, right at that point, yes, I'm his older brother, but my parents also put me in a position where I also had to be like his disciplinarian caretaker type of role.
I mean, that was me with my siblings my whole life.
Yeah, well, they're much older than you.
Yeah. And
they're
still
what,
would beat
15,
my ass.
16 years older than you? Something like that?
15 and 17. And when my brother was 20, he would still come home from work and powerbomb his 3-year-old sister.
With Michael, it wasn't as often because we're only 3.5, 4 years apart. So
when you're like 13 and 10, 16 and 13, that makes sense.
Yeah. 17, 14, there were times where I had to be a disciplinarian and stuff like that. But as an older child, you're tasked with looking after your younger siblings from basically the moment they're born. It's weird.
It's all over my Instagram about being the oldest sister, and I can't really. I have like an identity crisis when it comes to people talking about this stuff on the internet. Like, oh, if you're the baby, this is how you act. If you're the oldest sibling, this is how you act.
Your situation's unique.
I am literally the oldest, middle, and youngest sister at the same time. So it's like this weird thing.
Well, how are you all of those things at the same time?
Okay,
Because you're not the youngest.
but I am so much younger than my older brother and sister that Ashley and I are almost clumped together as the little sisters.
Like the babies.
The babies. And then I'm the older sister when it comes to her, but then I'm the middle sister when it comes to all of us. So I find it is actually so weird to me, and I've never really said it out loud. So when I see people being like, oh yeah, oldest sister syndrome, and I'm like, well, I don't fit into that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, this or that. I fit into that one, but not this one. And it's like this weird conundrum that happens in my head. I'm like, but who am I?
Well, and those labels aren't perfect for anybody.
No, but it's like weird because I'm like, well, I don't identify. That's my younger sister. Am I supposed to be doing that? And it's like this weird world. I'm like, no, she's just a psychotic control freak. That's why.
Yeah, because then there's the personality traits. There's a bunch of different things. It's interesting because my parents both come from really large families.
Yeah, where do they fall?
Right, like.
Isn't your dad the youngest?
No, my dad. They're still.
He's the youngest boy.
No, my Uncle John is the young. My Uncle John is the youngest and the youngest boy. I believe my dad is the third or fourth youngest.
Wasn't there a whole thing where you were like talking about how your dad definitely had the youngest boy syndrome? All the girls like take care of him.
He had a lot of older sisters, and they did a lot. Like they did a lot around the house to take care of the younger siblings and specifically the two youngest brothers. You know what's crazy? And I don't think we talked about this on the show here. I found out that recently, like within the last 2 months, my dad and his two brothers.
So there's only 3 boys.
Yeah, 3 boys in the whole family out of the 7 of them.
Okay.
My dad and his 2 brothers, for the first time in their lives, hung out alone as adults. That is insane.
Yeah.
And then my dad, we were trying to like get my dad to see how crazy that was. And then he brought up the fact that his oldest brother, my godfather, is so much older than him that it wasn't like they were going to, I think there's 10 years between the two of them. God bless you.
Thank you.
I think there's 10 years, maybe more between the two of them. So it's not like growing up overseas, they were going to hang out all the time. And there was a bunch of siblings
between them. Did they hang out alone
them.
As kids?
No, because they were never alone.
Right.
When there's 7 siblings.
I'm 7 siblings.
Right. When there's 7 siblings that live together all the time, you're never really alone. Right. And then,
that is crazy.
And then when they all moved.
Imagine being alone, like for the first time with your siblings as an adult.
It's crazy. But then when they moved, when they all left Lebanon during the Civil War, they moved to different places at different times.
And your uncle lives in Canada.
And then, my uncle moved to Canada. My dad moved to Jordan for 2 years and then to America. So then they started their families.
Yeah.
So they never hung out alone.
Until like 2 months ago.
As adults until my uncle was down in Florida.
Did they have secrets that they've been waiting to tell their whole lives?
I don't know. My uncle has a place down in Florida. That's where I stayed when I had COVID. So my dad was going to go down and visit him anyway. So my youngest uncle went down with them. And that was the first time the 3 of them hung out together. Now, my dad and my youngest uncle hung out a lot together because even though they're a lot of years apart, my uncle lived with my dad for a little bit in America. Like my uncle John and I were essentially roommates for a while.
That's so funny.
Like my parents got married and my uncle John, who was I think 14 at the time, moved in with them immediately.
How old were you?
Well, I wasn't born yet when they were married, but.
So was he dealing with an infant?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, you were sleeping with your parents probably.
No. When I was in my I don't know, crib, what do you put a kid in?
You weren't in your bassinet with your cousin.
With my uncle.
So when you woke up in the middle of the night and you were hungry, he breastfed you?
No, but he was in the room.
So all of them were in the same room?
What do you mean all of them?
Where did you sleep?
My parents had a 2-bedroom. Well, first my parents had a 1-bedroom in Hasbrook Heights, I believe. And then when my uncle moved in, it was a 2-bedroom in Clifton.
But what I'm saying is when you were born,
yes,
you were definitely...
I'm sure for a couple months I was in my parents' room.
That's what I'm saying.
But then...
Yeah, that's fine.
I was with...
I'll allow that.
My uncle. Jeez.
Wait, Lenny, what?
Let's see. Lenny said the one... You can read it.
Lenny said, the only time I've cursed at my parents was when I came to visit from college and they moved. A Hasidic Jewish person answered, and I was very confused. This was before cell phones were regular, so luckily they kept their number, and I called and cursed them out for not telling me.
I don't know if I would have cursed them out, but I would have been very mad that they didn't tell me that they moved, and I showed up to this house.
Imagine that person answering their door.
Yeah. I'm sure that person was also very confused when an Asian person walked up to their house. Oh, man. I'm trying to go through some of these comments here.
Man, families.
Yeah.
That is weird. Like, that is so weird about your dad, because I've been alone with my brother. I've been alone with my sister, my younger sister. I've been alone with each of my nieces. And have I been alone with my nephew? What the hell? Jesus Christ. I just did Michael Justin. Nicholas. I had to have been, right?
I don't know. But that's also not your sibling. It's different.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been...
Like, have you ever gone on a trip with just your sister T? Or what alone time have you had with just the two of you?
Oh, we have. We've gone to lunch, dinner, whatever. But the four of us, me, Ashley, Billy, and T, I don't know that we've done anything alone. I feel like maybe once.
You should go on a camping trip. That would be
I
hilarious.
will literally get in a raft and get the hell out of there.
All right, let's get to the stuff we actually have on the list today now that we're 20 minutes into the show. Old and sore, working man hands, the grossest thing ever, and baby reindeer, WTF. Now, keep in mind, I have not seen more than 2 seconds of baby reindeer, and the 2 seconds I saw did not tell me anything about the show. First off, old and sore. So I went back to the basketball court yesterday. And yesterday's games were a little more intense than last week's games, mainly because last week I got really lucky and the two guys that I was guarding were kind of lazy. They kind of just waited around and waited for like 3-point shots. So I got to kind of chill a little bit. It was a great introduction back to the court, like from tearing my Achilles. Yeah. Unfortunately, yesterday I played 2 games and I got matched up with a guy who did not stop moving, like at all. So I'm just chasing this man.
I would get
around
bored
the court.
after 1 minute.
No, you wouldn't. I'm just chasing this man around the court because I know that I'm not a good basketball player on the offensive side of the game. So throughout my whole life, my only real contribution to a team has been defense. Yeah. So I was like, I just got to make sure that I stick my guy.
Defend the box. What it's called?
Sure.
The net.
Sure. And defend well. So chasing this guy all around the court, and I felt pretty good. And the guy even complimented me because I'm at a point now where even though I still take the games seriously and that I want to win. I don't have the attitude that some younger players do where there's like a little bit of anger in the way they play too. Yeah, it's just weird. And I'm sure I was that person too.
100% you were.
Right? Like coming right out of high school, going to the YMCA in Ridgewood.
I'm sure you were like that right before you tore your Achilles.
No, I got to a point where I always want to win when I go on a court. You're never going to hear me be like, oh, I don't care if I win or lose. I do. And I'll replay plays that I messed up in my head for a little bit as I'm like driving home. Just like, oh, I could have done that better. But I don't
have the space for this in my brain.
But I don't get mad anymore. So I'm like making small talk with this guy, and he had hit a couple pretty difficult shots, like in my face. So as we're walking up the court at one point, I said, hey man, do me a favor. He was like, what's up? I said, if you could just like miss a couple and make me look a little better, that I'd really appreciate
dad
it.
jokes on the court.
Exactly.
Guy, he's definitely like, this guy's a dad.
Well, I think he was a little older than everyone else on the court too. Because we were playing with like high school kids and college kids, which was a whole problem in itself because those kids have energy.
Yeah.
But he's like, listen, man, I just got to make it. I got to make these shots because you've got really, he said something like, you've got really quick feet or something like that. I was like, oh, I still have quick feet after tearing my Achilles. I love it. Did you
tell him you tore your Achilles?
No, I just kept playing. But I felt pretty good yesterday. But this morning I woke up and it was like my legs just decided not to work.
But Achilles is fine.
Oh, Achilles is fine, yeah. If anything, it's my non-injured leg. And maybe I was putting more pressure on that or something. I also did the 2 times I've played basketball, just by chance have been on my leg days, which are pretty intense.
Stupid.
So I'm excited to see what happens. Maybe if I play on Thursday. Oh no, Thursday would be a leg day too. No, Thursday's not a leg day.
You need to like find out what Gen Z's talking about and come back and report it.
What do you think?
Like,
that's what I'm doing on the basketball court?
Yeah, I'd be like, so what's the cool lingo these days, kids?
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Come on.
This one kid was wearing a college shirt, and I said, oh, it was like a Seattle Pacific University.
Yeah.
And I said, SPU basketball. I said, have you played basketball for SPU? And he goes, no, I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore. I said, okay.
Yeah, so that's the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
Because if you're a high school sophomore, you're not speaking to anyone.
No, he was really nice. He was a nice kid. You know, we left the court around the same time.
You drive him home?
I didn't drive. You think I just drove a strange high school kid home?
Maybe
You think I'm trying to go to jail? Are you insane? Hey, kid, you want to ride home? Get in my Mazda with my mustache.
With my morning show podcast sticker on the side.
Get out of here. I don't need that kind of press in my life. What do I look like, Drake? Speaking of Drake, by the way, we talked about the rivalry and the back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And if you're old enough to remember the Biggie and Tupac beef, you know that sometimes these things do not end well for either participant. And it turns out that I guess today, allegedly, there was a drive-by at Drake's Toronto house. I thought it would, when I first saw that there was a drive-by at Drake's house, because I'm sure he has a home in Los Angeles as well.
Yeah.
And that's where Kendrick Lamar is from. I thought that's where it would be. But seeing the fact that it happened in Toronto,
Canada,
where Drake is from, is concern. I mean, it would have been concerning either way. It looks like there may have been a security guard that was hit and is in the hospital.
That's crazy.
We don't even know if Drake was there, though, which is one of the crazy parts. I would assume if there's a security guard there, maybe Drake is there. But this is not what anyone wants to see.
No.
That was a weird transition, but that news broke about 30 minutes ago, like right before we got on the air.
Yeah, it's wild.
So get on the air.
I think you did.
I did get on the air. I guess we're on the airwaves somewhere. I mean, the internet goes through the air now, right? Like if we are on your phone, we have gone through the air at some point.
I guess.
Do you ever stop and think about?
No, it's too deep.
No, hold on. Think about the things we take for granted technologically, right? Like just making a FaceTime call to see your baby nephew, right? You're in Seattle. Your nephew is in New Jersey. But
we can teleport.
You can look into this tiny little pinhole in your mobile phone. And that takes all the information, packages it up, sends it from your phone to a tower.
Immediately,
through a network of other towers and wires and cables. And then your nephew can be on your great nephew can be on your niece's phone and see your face on this screen. That is a wild concept.
Okay, but here's my thing. Like, we can appreciate that. To him, like, what is in his brain, right? Like, these kids that grew up with seeing family members on their phones all the time. Like, Adriana, who is a little over a year old, my niece, I keep telling my sister that I want to do Miss Rachel videos for her. Where I'm like, hey, Adriana, it's Coco Carla. Today we're going to learn whatever. And then she's going to think I'm, like, famous.
Yeah. You know what would be cool?
But I told my sister to start playing Twitch for her.
I think I just had an idea.
What?
Okay. I don't know how we do it because I don't really know AI and video things that well. So kids love Blippi and Miss Rachel and all those shows, right? And a lot of times those hosts are talking outward to their audience. Like, hi, what do you think today? Blah, blah, blah. There should be a platform that allows parents to plug in their child's name.
That's creepy.
But all it does...
It's me saying AI. Like,
yeah,
Adriana.
Exactly. And I guarantee you now, all you have to really do is have that host read, I don't know, 500 names into a computer
And
one
it'll be
day.
fine.
And then whatever variations of names come out after that, they'll have a good video of it. And now your kid is having this interaction with this person. I think parents would pay a crap ton of money for a service like that.
There's one of those that exists around Christmas time.
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, well, I'm
like
not,
a big guy says something?
Yeah.
I'm sure that exists too.
Sweet Eats by V said, at Disneyland yesterday, my 4-year-old nephew discovered a paper map of the park and was fascinated. My sister, who's 16, felt old witnessing his fascination because when she was his age, she didn't have an app of the park like he does.
It's crazy because I wonder when kids realize that, like, no one's living in this, right? Like,
I don't know that.
Like your great nephew knows that you're a real person, but he also knows he can see you in this.
Yes, but he's obsessed. He watches iPad. He just watches YouTube and he watches YouTube Shorts and he scrolls. Adriana, who's 1.5 for a while now, has known you can do this to scroll past something on your phone. So, because they see us doing this, like you don't realize how much you do something until a kid can, like she sees my sister typing. I'm talking like 6 months ago, she would know what to do on the keyboard. So it's really weird. When did they realize that like Miss Rachel isn't in the phone? I don't know, because Miss Rachel's in the phone and the iPad and in the TV.
The next thing I want to transition to real quick is working man hands. And this goes off of, I was still at the gym yesterday playing basketball, but there's a project that we're working on here in the Gillywagon office. What? Oh, where I was using spray paint. And I had, when you use spray paint for a while, that paint ends up on your hands.
Yeah, and your fingers.
So I had like black spray paint on a couple of my fingers. My hands looked kind of dirty.
You got calluses probably from the gym.
And I was sitting there waiting to play basketball yesterday. And this kid looks over at me. He goes, "You in construction?" And I think between the paint on my hands and the mustache, maybe, and the general age difference between me and this kid, he thought I was a working man. He really thought I was like out there.
I couldn't be farther from the truth.
I know.
You should have said, no, my grandpa was.
I should.
Was he looking for a job?
I don't know. He was just.
What did you say?
I just said no. I was spray painting something.
I was tagging up the billboard around the corner.
But that was it. Just I had some working man hands yesterday.
You should be like, nah, I normally get manicures and pedicures.
I do not get manicures.
You have.
I don't like them. I'm not a fan. I'm not against them for anyone else, man or woman. I'm a pedicure guy.
We got to get pedis before Florida.
I just feel, and maybe it's because of the amount of time I spend in the gym or doing things like playing basketball now, I just feel like it's manicure's a waste on me.
Okay.
Right? Because I got these working man hands.
Can I please see what the chat said to that conversation? Because I need this in my existence.
Let's see. The water definitely came out of Carla Marie's nose.
Rogue Smiley. I haven't seen that name. They just said a ha-ha.
They've been here for 2 years, though. Or 2 months. 2 months subscriber.
Hello, Rogue Smiley. Down.
That's it.
Oh.
But yeah, apparently I had some working man hands yesterday. I mean, the good thing is my hands usually look beat up because of the gym.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot of calluses
so
and stuff. So maybe people think I'm like out there, working the railroad or something. What do people do these days?
I don't know.
You
should go to the gym with like a lunchbox.
What do real men do these days?
Like a lunchbox, like a construction worker.
Like a lunch pail? Like a tin? An aluminum one?
But those are like cool again.
Are they really?
Because they're not plastic, because kids can't have their lunch in plastic.
Oh, are people getting aluminum?
So they get aluminum. My sister just got one for Adriana's daycare. You know how much
But isn't your sister like
do you know how much one was? One lunchbox.
Did she buy some stupid like fancy version, like a Stanley?
$50.
Get out of here.
For a metal lunchbox.
You could literally go to a Goodwill and get one for $2.
We're going to take a break at some point, right?
Oh, we should take a break right now, actually.
Okay.
Why is that?
We're going to have a caller on for the grossest thing ever.
Okay. So, grossest thing ever, Baby Reindeer, WTF, that is coming up in a second. We're going to take a quick break. And if you have not been here for a while, you can wait like 30 seconds. There's a word game that's going to come up for people who are subscribers who don't get the ads served to them. I think you have to press exclamation point or type in exclamation point play in order to get in there. But enjoy yourselves. Have fun. All 17 words. What do we got? What? That's not a word. AMYL. I'm looking that up. AMYL definition. What do we got? The straight chain
The hell's this?
pentyl radical.
So it's a
It's a chemical of some sort, or a chemical combination.
What is it on the chart?
Huh?
Is it a
It's
periodic
not,
table
no,
of
no, it's not an
elements?
element. It's a chemical. All right.
All right.
We're going to exit
All right.
that.
All right. All right. Do you remember when we would say that all the time early days of My Day Friday, and we both had to have a meeting with each other and be like, we need to stop saying all right.
All right. We are back.
So back.
All right.
All right, kids.
We are back. So Carla Marie
Yes.
said that we have a caller or something.
Yes.
That's all I
So
know.
for the,
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm calling up someone, a friend. They're not gonna. Oh.
Here, you should only be able to hear it in your headphones, maybe? I don't know.
I didn't hear anything, but it was on. It was on. What's that called? Bluetooth.
Oh, we could turn that on too.
Wait, don't. I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, what about, are they talking?
No, I'm calling.
Are you playing anything that?
Yes, it was the ring, but I'm hearing it on my phone. Your thingamabobber isn't working. Your idea here.
Okay, well then just use Bluetooth. What's wrong with your brain right now?
I just was listening. Now Bluetooth's not on.
Oh,
now I gotta go back to this. You said it worked before.
I heard it. Maybe your phone isn't directing properly.
Okay, move the ugly wires.
It looks like we are connected to CM iPhone.
That's me.
All right, Carla Marie. Who is this person?
Hello.
Hi, friend.
Hold on 2 seconds.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So I have.
There it is.
I have Samantha here.
Oh, that's who
Anthony didn't even know who we were calling.
Stinky Sam.
Oh, perfect.
Hi.
Hello,
so
Samantha.
Sam is our friend who works at Elvis Duran in the morning show. And Sam told me one of the grossest things I have ever heard.
Oh, boy.
And I was so gobsmacked that I need to have her on here to tell this whole situation.
Carla Marie was so gobsmacked, she used the word gobsmacked.
I smacked her gob so hard.
Okay.
So, Samantha, why don't you tell everyone what you do when your dog, Savannah, does not want to drink water?
You know, it's so fun telling one of your best friends something, and then a week later, an unknown amount of people get to hear it. Well, if she refuses to drink water, and she's not a good water drinker, and I know there are pet parents out there like me, where she'll be melting on the floor after a long walk and refuses to drink water.
Okay.
I have, on a couple occasions, added a little extra flavor to the water in a way that I knew she'd find appealing.
Which is?
Oh, good. Which is I drink my water and then I mama bird her. I spit it into her dog bowl.
So
you drink your own water.
Don't drink it. She swishes it.
So you swish it around in your mouth and then you put it into your dog's mouth?
Water.
Dog bowl. I put it into
okay.
the bowl.
All right, that's a little bit. I thought you were like baby birding it directly into your dog Savannah's mouth.
1 degree of separation.
I feel like that's actually less gross for some reason.
No, it's way more gross to do that. So you basically, Savannah's drinking your spit water then?
100%, yeah. That's just gotta, like, I make fun of her when she drinks it. I do,
so,
actual drink. You've
been doing that and you've noticed that it works, right? Which is the important part because you want your dog to drink water. But
every time.
So there had to be a first time. And why did you think this was going to work the first time?
Yeah.
Because she has no care for personal space, which both of you have experienced.
Yeah.
So I'll be drinking my own water, and on several occasions, she'll boop and try and dart her tongue around the rim of my cup.
Okay.
So I knew she was, like, curious. So it was a shot in the dark, and you know what? It worked, and I'm not sorry. Sometimes she just needs to drink water. Follow-up
question. Does Savannah, like, hypothetically, Savannah's in a different room, okay? You spit your water into her bowl. Does she know that that is now water that she approves of, or does she have to see you do it to know that this is, like, her favorite water?
Do it.
Say that again. Say that again,
I wonder who she prefers, me or my husband. No, she's always seen me do it because it's always after me putting her bowl in front of her and being like, drink, Savannah, please, drink water.
Okay.
It's like a last resort.
Here's what I need from you. I just need you to do an experiment for me. I need you to spit your water into her bowl when she's not looking, and then put it in front of her and see if she still receives the water the same way.
Okay, for science, I like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, Anthony, if Max didn't drink water, which she doesn't, and that was the only way she drank water, would you spit in a bowl for her?
Yes, 100%.
Sam, can you believe this man? Who is he?
Only Max,
I love this evolution of Anthony. I love it.
Only for Max.
Only for Max.
Yeah.
What I do, and I gave Sam this tip, which seems like more common sense than spitting in a bowl, was I put the water in their wet food, because Savannah does get some wet food, and so that it's more liquid.
Yeah, but I believe dogs, especially because they're going outside for walks and whatnot in the summer, I think they need a little more direct water than cats do. Like, cats don't need that much water to begin with.
No.
Dogs need way more.
This has usually happened after a long walk, which already she'll come home. It's not even summer yet, and she'll come home and like lay on the floor with her tongue touching the wood because of how hard she's panting.
So
she refuses to drink.
That's insane.
I have one more question about you baby birding this water into your dog Savannah's bowl to get her to drink water.
With no regrets, yeah.
How much water are we talking? Like, how often are you drinking and spitting into this bowl on a daily basis?
Okay, it's only happened like 5-6 times.
Okay. But is it just like one gulp? Is it just one gulp and then you spit it back in?
I'll fill my mouth up with as much water as I can. Give it a gargle.
Oh, a gargle. So you're getting like back of the throat action there.
So Anthony, too much.
Yeah, my dog has a kink, whatever. Let her live.
So, but it's one mouthful of water seems to do the trick.
Usually that's enough. Yeah, because then whatever water is already in the bowl, it's like squeezing a lemon into a glass of water. It just kind of dissipates after all the water.
We just got a message on Twitch in our live chat from Deborah that said, I just joined and wondering what the heck you guys are talking about. So our friend Sam, who works at Elvis Duran in the morning show, has a dog, Savannah, who doesn't like to drink water. But Sam learned that if Samantha spits her own water into her dog's bowl, that Savannah will then drink it.
Okay, 2 more questions from our chat, Sam. One is from Meg, who says, does William also do this, or is it just really your spit that works for Savannah?
Yeah,
so far, this is a very intimate detail that only my 2 best friends and everyone on the live stream know. My husband doesn't even know this is a thing.
Oh, wow.
Samantha, you didn't tell me this?
I didn't feel it's a necessary detail.
All right, the next question, and then we're going to let you go, Sam.
This makes it weird now.
It does make it actually a little weirder. It really does.
It's not like a secret, but she works all day.
It just sounds a little bit more.
Sam, that's like an immediate text. Hey, I just spit water in Savannah's bowl and it worked.
It now sounds like this forbidden thing you are doing with your dog. But the last question we have is from DJ Synth in the chat, and he says, can we have Sam spit the water in a fountain kind of manner and see if Savannah catches it?
I hate that I'm going to also try that.
Okay.
You have 2 things for science now, 2 experiments.
I hate that I know I'm going to do that.
You have to.
Also,
I don't even want to, but I'm going to do it.
Thanks to Claire for this idea. We need William's reaction to hearing this. So if you could film him when he gets home from work today.
Yeah, don't tell him. You do it. Like, set up a camera. Set up a camera where you, Savannah, and William are all on screen. And then just do it and see what his reaction is. I have a feeling William's not even going to flinch.
He's not. He's going to be like, oh, I've been doing that too.
Wow. Right? He looks at me and he goes, oh my God, you too?
Yeah, exactly.
The reason I'm going to consider doing this, and we have a nanny cam, so I can totally film it without it looking suspicious.
Please, Sam, this will
what
be
I'm afraid of.
This will be the best thing on the internet all month. I promise you. You got to do it.
You both know this might happen. What I'm afraid of is I'm going to take my big gulp, immediately find it hilarious, and just spit water.
Hey, maybe Savannah will drink it up.
Yeah, the good news is Savannah will lick it up from the floor if you end up doing that by accident.
This is how I drown.
Well,
this is it. This is the moment it starts.
Sam, are you back home already?
From work?
From work?
I am currently, I'm in pottery right now. I'm taking a work break between being in studio and working from home.
Go make us something nice for our studio.
The hands of an artist, you guys.
I don't know what she said.
Something about hands of an artist. I don't know.
All right.
Being weird.
Love you, Sam. Enjoy
Love
your
you.
pottery.
Bye.
I love you guys. Bye.
It's weird. It's weird because if you asked me to guess a million things, that's not what I would have guessed was happening, but I'm also not surprised.
Right. I was like, he's not going to even react weird because it's Sam.
Oh, man. But yeah, I would do that for Max. That's the thing. And
if John was thirsty?
No, John's fine. He's all right.
No. If he wasn't, if he was like, I'm so thirsty, I need my dad's spit.
I would have been like, you should have spent the last 3 years being nicer to me. John.
He's not mean to you.
He's not nice.
Here's why you don't love John, but you love Max because they show you attention.
Yes.
You're just as messed up as anything else.
Yeah.
But see, here's the line. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
Max shows you attention. You love her more. And John doesn't show you attention. You're like, I don't want him. Here's where the female comes in. He won't show me attention. And I'm like, Johnny, please come here. Let me hug you. I want you.
Yeah, that is the difference, actually. For guys, you don't show us attention. Although, I take that back. Because there is everyone likes, in relationship-wise, everyone likes the chase a little bit. Everyone likes playing hard to get, all of that
I'm like,
stuff.
Johnny, please let me hug you, please.
No, Max has started this new thing where I call it she's butt sleeping on me. Mm-hmm. So normally, Max is a very polite cat, and when she goes to lay on you or anyone, she lays like a normal cat with like
the same direction.
Yeah, same direction. Her head is like usually on your shoulder or your chest. I woke up the other day, and she just decided to sleep with her butt in my face. Like full on sleep. And I woke up and there was just tail in my face. Real weird. Last thing on the list today. Thank you to Sam for joining us then, even though I don't think she was prepared for that because she was.
Listen, she knew I texted her.
Baby Reindeer. And this is not the animals, right? We're off of actual animals and now talking about a Netflix show called
Baby
Reindeer.
So,
which I've never seen a second of.
I kept seeing like random tweets or memes about it, and I don't even know what they were. It was just like seeing the word Baby Reindeer. And I was like, oh, so this is a show people are watching. Okay. And then it kept coming up on my Netflix and, it plays the trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing it. I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. It's about a man being stalked. That's normally most of my Netflix shows are the other way around.
Yes.
And they're true crime. This is based on a true story. So I was like, let me see. Is it scary? No. And I kept like wanting to watch it. And then finally I dove in.
Okay.
It is the most effed up show I've ever watched.
So it's just about the stalker.
There's so many elements, okay? It's about
Let's see if anyone else in the chat has watched Baby Reindeer
and
yet.
When it came to the end and it was like, hate it, like it, or love it, I could only put like it because I could not say that I loved that show.
Because it was so messed up.
So messed up.
And this is coming from someone who watches only messed up things.
Yes.
Let's see. Mergen said, I just started Baby Reindeer last night. Oh my God, I finished it over the weekend and it's wild, says Dana in Maryland.
After episode 3, it gets worse.
I'm at episode 2, says Mergen. And she's very confused.
So I believe it's based on true story, like a set of true stories. So from what I understood, it was whoever created the show. I think it was based on things that happened to people that they know. Run Like a Husky said, isn't it a true story about what happened to the main actor? I don't know about that. DJ Sin said, I got goosebumps so many times. Like, it's so weird watching it as a female of a male being stalked because you're like, well, this person isn't going to like tie you up and kill you, are you? Like they can't.
They could still.
But now they could, but that's not what happens. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. It's still so like scare. It's the way it's done. I will say this: the way the show is done, incredible.
Okay.
The way it's written, the way they make you scared. The way they make you start to like feel bad for bad people. It's all done well as a show. Just so effed up.
So apparently, now this is 2 comments. One, Dana in Maryland said he asked, I guess the director or actor, asked people not to look up the real stalker, but of course the internet did.
Yes.
And then Meg said the real life woman has come out and said she wants to sue the show and basically said that it's true.
Well, then you don't get to sue.
Well, you could, I mean, there are still...
She could say, that's my IP.
Now that's her IP. If they represented her in a way that isn't accurate and can be seen as defamation or damaging or something like that. But if the things that she did are true enough, I think the court would say, well, then you shouldn't have done those things.
Right.
You know, the fact that someone is recreating your actions doesn't mean they never happened. And you can sue for that.
It's very dark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like, as much as that is normally the shows that I watch, this was a different level, different shade.
Ron Like Husky said, have you ever seen the movie Swim Fan? Which I never watched, but I remember it. And that was about a female stalker in that one as well.
No idea. But I'm telling you, man. I can't even, someone DM'd me this and it was they're like, I can't even recommend this show. I can't be like, hey, you should watch this.
Like Saltburn?
Yeah, but that's different. Okay, I will say Saltburn undertones.
Like the weird sexual parts of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Is she like sniffing his underwear and stuff while he's gone?
No, way worse than that.
Oh, okay. That's fun. Let's see.
Dana Marilyn said, I do not recommend binging it, though. Have a palate cleanser show ready. Honestly, I watched half of it Friday, half of it Saturday.
How many episodes?
6, 7?
Total?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I would
How
say...
long are they? Hour-long episodes?
I disagree with Dana. I say binge it so that you can remove it and get on with your life.
Like rip the Band-Aid off, kind of.
Yeah, because then I wasn't going like all these days thinking about what was going to happen. I'm done. My brain can be clear of it. This is my, what is it called when you go to confession? When they absolve you of your sins?
Sure.
What is it called?
You could be absolved of sins.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
allegedly.
absolving my brain of this.
I don't think you're using that word properly.
Well, that's what I want to happen.
You could be cleansing your brain of it.
Like I'm here to speak about it so I can get rid of it.
Sure. Carla Marie. Let's see. They're 30-minute episodes around, and I think there's R7, says Mergen. That's not bad. That's a pretty bingeable, easily bingeable show over 2 days.
It's one of those shows that makes you scream at the screen. Yes, you're right, Larry. It does.
Is it because...
It's like, what are you doing?
To the main person, to the main character?
Yeah.
Like they're making dumb decisions?
Yeah. But then you eventually learn like why they make dumb decisions.
Does he like it? Does he like being stalked?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about the show.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. It's like talking about it in therapy so you can get it out of your brain.
Okay. You're cleansing
I actually
yourself.
feel like I need to go to a church and confess that I watched the show, to be honest with you. Do we have any priests in here?
Probably
There's
not.
a priest in my family.
I'm probably the closest one.
Like my cousin's
closest thing.
husband's cousin.
Your cousin's... Wait, what?
Cousin's husband's cousin? Yeah. So like my cousin married a man.
Okay.
And his cousin is a priest.
And that priest is not allowed to be married, right?
I don't think so.
Because like that was the weird thing in my family growing up was my uncle was a priest. He married my Aunt Norma.
Has kids.
And they were married before he was a priest. Had kids before he became an ordained priest, but he was still like working within the church. He was still...
No, because the Catholic Church, you're married to the church, God. I don't know.
But that's the thing. All my Catholic friends would be... When I would say I had an uncle or my cousins...
I was confused when you first told me.
They were always really confused. And it was just normal for me. Like our priest growing up here, in New Jersey, I was friends with his son.
It is so bizarre that you're depriving people from human connection, essentially. You're almost like forcing them into living a lonely life because eventually, right, their family will get old. And again, not everyone has to get married and have kids. I'm not saying that. But if that's the life you've lived, and again, these people are choosing this. I fully understand that no one is forcing them to do this. But how are you going to let someone stand up there and preach life and love and whatever to you if they're not living that same thing? That's what I don't understand about the Catholic Church.
I think that's the weird thing because when you get married in the Catholic Church or in most churches,
what are you
have to
telling
go.
me,
You have to go and like sit with a priest for a while, right?
Yeah, and they're telling you how to handle. I'm like, what the? Because you had these conversations with God. Okay, I'm not saying you don't do that, but also you're not living in the same home sharing a toilet with God.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I don't get. Oh, Martha, you missed a doozy.
But I think it would be weird, though, being a priest and being, like, out there dating, right? Like, I think you either have to be married already or then you get into it and you're done. Like, I don't want to hear dating drama with a priest.
I think this priest that I was talking about in my family, I think he left the priesthood and went back. So can you just be like, leave, I'm going to go do something? I don't know.
Apparently my oldest uncle, the one who's my godfather, went to a monastery or something in Lebanon because he wanted to be a priest. And then...
Which uncle is your godfather?
The oldest one, Eli.
Isn't it Ali? Why are you saying his name different to me now?
Because in English you would say Eli.
But you've literally never said that. So my head went Manning.
Eli Manning is my godfather.
Jesus.
Not Jesus. That's my grandfather. My grandfather was a carpenter from Bethlehem.
I thought it was Jerusalem. I thought everybody Jerusalem. You're throwing me off now.
Bethlehem. Where was baby Jesus born, Carla Marie? In Bethlehem.
But he lived...
From what I remember, my grandfather is from Bethlehem, Palestine. My grandmother's from Nazareth.
They're literally Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Mary and Joseph.
Basically, yeah.
So then Jesus would be your mom.
I think it skipped a generation, though, because I don't think any of my aunts or uncles...
Could be Jesus.
From them. Like, I have an uncle who was a priest, but he married in. I think it skipped a generation, and then it went to, like, me, because I was the deacon in the family.
So you're Jesus.
Gotta be. I gotta be. When I had long hair and a little bit, and, like, stubble, late in high school, I was still a deacon at my church, and people would go up to my mom. If they hadn't been to church in a while, they'd go up to my mom afterwards, because if they knew her, and say, I walked into church and I thought I saw Jesus when your son turned around on the altar.
Your face, when you look at the, like, updated renderings of Jesus,
yeah.
You just look at the face. It is Anthony's face. It is bizarre.
Yeah, I think it was National Geographic did, like, a composite of genetic data and what Jesus would most likely look like. And it's basically me.
Does that make me, no, Jesus didn't marry anybody.
Nope.
He wasn't with anybody.
Nope. I mean, he was with 12 dudes all the time.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, it's my bro chat. I want to see how many people are in my bro crew. Hold on.
Oh my God.
If there's 11.
You need to start giving them disciple names. Megan said, my brother-in-law's aunt, my brother-in-law's aunt was a nun, and she got kicked out for being late to her prayers or something. Not even anything crazy, but she's never been in another relationship that I'm aware of other than with God.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Damn it.
Hey, is it my grandma or your grandma who wanted to be a nun? I can't do the stories anymore.
My grandma wanted to be a nun.
And then she had 13 children?
Yeah, and then for probably
she was probably like, I'm going to do the polar opposite.
It was probably like a couple chickens and some land, and she was given to my grandfather. And that was it.
Wait, how many dudes you got?
I think I said there were 13 or 14 in here. But, hold on. A couple of them are not active. So.
Oh, Pontius Pilate. He's not active. Kick him out. Who is it?
So, let's see. I got active 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Are you the 13th? Did you count yourself?
No, I didn't count myself. There's 13 in there. So, one extra disciple.
Who could you kick out?
I don't know.
Jesus would let them all in.
He would. He'd have been like, you're another fisher of men as well. Fisherman? That's like the one, it's like a quote. Because he took a bunch of fishermen and now made them fisher of men. I know random Bible verses for some reason.
Please don't start. Jesus. Can you grow your hair out again?
It just wouldn't look the same.
I know, but it'd be so cool. Like, I want you to have a man bun so bad. So bad. So bad.
How did we go from stalking to Jesus? That is a great question.
I'm sure we've gotten here before somehow.
We've literally talked about Drake, basketball,
telling your mother to shut up.
Dog water. Beating your children. I don't know. That's true. DJ Synth said Jesus might have been superstitious. It would have been disciple number 14.
He was at least a little stitious.
Shut up. All right.
Maybe Good Friday was the first Good Friday was the 13th, was it? I wonder if Jesus got put in the thing on Friday the 13th.
Got put into the thing.
What is it? The tomb? The cave? Where'd he go?
Put on the cross?
No, and then he got put inside the thing.
He was eventually put in the tomb, yes.
What day of the week?
That would have been Friday evening, I guess.
The 13th.
It would have been put in the thing, like Carla Marie said so eloquently. No, he came out of the tomb on Sunday.
Dana said, this conversation reminded me of my grandma's cousin. She was a nun. I think she smoked, which was a weird thing to see.
Nuns smoke. Priests. We used to, so at Seton Hall, because it's a Catholic school, we had a seminary, which is where priests go or want to be priests go to like study and whatnot. And we would see them outside smoking out of their little dorms all the time. And they had the priest had a intramural team, and they were actually pretty good.
That's good, but is that scary playing against?
And we had to play them in a couple championship games in flag football.
Flag football.
Yeah.
Did you feel like
smoked them? Fuck them priests. Don't see me on a football field. I will smoke your ass.
If I ever would have said something like that, you would have been like,
yeah, but I can say that. I don't know why. Probably because I did smoke those guys on the field. No, they're always very, very nice.
D1 priest. Funny.
No, they weren't D1. They were intramural level.
Fuck you, Tom.
Oh, man. All right. Carla Marie, we ready to go?
On that note, we're going to church.
I got to go to confession or something. Thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget there are new episodes of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you get your shows. If you want to hear about Carla Marie's boobies and their journey out of her body, you can listen to her podcast. Are we going to get a new episode tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm recording it after this, so
there will be a new episode of the Tits Out Wednesday. No, Tits Out.
Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
Whip 'em Out Wednesday. That's going to be there. And we'll be back here on Thursday. Peace.